Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this episode of Stories to Startups, where we celebrate entrepreneurs who've actually made a difference and aspired to dream. My name is Akanksha, and this is Tanmay, and we'll be your host for this evening.
So today we have Miss Devyani Pawar, who is a dynamic entrepreneurship, who is redefining entrepreneurship in a way that we can't even imagine. From running the globally excellent DP House of Media and to by redefining and bringing the kitchen gardening accessible to everyone with the essential green, she is one of a person that anyone would want to hear. Good evening, ma'am. How are you doing?
Thank you, Tanmay, for such an amazing introduction. And it's amazing to have you both here to converse. And I got to know about the interesting things you do at college. And this is one of the very exciting things for me, that students like you are taking up such creative ways of promoting businesses, entrepreneurship, and kind of creating a vertical where everyone can learn along with you. So thank you for doing it, because 3 cheers to what you guys can build out of it, right? So congratulations to you for doing it, and thank you for having me on this.
It's an absolute honor. Thank you so much, ma'am.
We're so glad to have you here, ma'am, today. So
You can call me Devyani, so let's just, I feel old.
Okay, so Devyani, let's go back to the beginning. How did the entrepreneurial bug bite you, and how did you begin DP House Media?
So entrepreneurship, if you call it, I think you will be able to relate it, being a girl. It started with like a rebellion, inner spirit of mine, that whenever you are at your early career stage, and when you come from a background of privilege, or you come from a background where you've been supported by your parents, and the society calls you different names, that you will do your career for hobby, you will do your career for XYZ purposes, and then you become that rebel kid that no, I want to prove my mettle. I want to prove that it's not just, I don't want to take my privilege lightly, but I also want to create a name of my own, where I make sure that I create a longer table for making my privilege accessible to everyone who's around me. It started with that, that fire inside me, that I want to prove my mettle. And that's how I felt like I need to dig into the entrepreneurial journey and take risks at early age. So that's how it started for me.
I can completely relate to this.
That's why I said.
So, I'm sure you have had multiple moments where you believed, oh, I can't do this.
Yes.
It's too tough for me. But then what was that one moment where you thought, I can do this and I will do it?
So in life, not everything is going to come in a platter for you. There are going to be ups, there are going to be downs, and there are going to be moments of failure where you have thought about it in your head that this is going to be successful, this service of yours in your company is going to work out, and there are going to be people just approaching you for work. But then when there are circumstances which are out of your control, it's your mindset that can help you evolve out of it. So according to me, whenever you're in a stuck situation that you cannot do anything in spite trying multiple things, just believe in the process of letting go and trying to attempt and be consistent with your efforts, because you never know that one fine moment of those efforts is going to lead up to that one moment of success, right? Like when we feel of giving up, that's the moment the world is pushing you to just, get outside your bubble.
So that spirit of hope and faith, I think, comes from our big dreams only.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Next question. So you are juggling multiple ventures, DP House of Media, The Essential Greens, and your podcast, Unfiltered Conversations. So how do you manage the chaos of being a serial entrepreneur, and what's your secret of staying focused?
For me, it started with DP House of Media. And like I told you, that my journey of entrepreneurship started very early in life. It started with a route that was sown during my internship period. Like I was actually a BBA in HR, and I thought of just attempting new things. And while now there are so many options for you guys to just start an business altogether while you're studying or that. Yeah. But that time when I was studying, it was like knowing the next step for you has to be, you have to jump onto an MBA. There was the only thing, and there were like these exhibits of just going to different countries, studying MBA and all that. But I was like, if I'm not sure about BBA and HR, I'm not having that inclination towards human resource. Of course, it's the backbone of any business, but I'm not having that. So the best thing which I did during that time was going to internship. And while I was doing internship, I did not have specialization in other departments. However, because it's internship, you have the opportunity to experiment, because they are not going to look at your internship extremely seriously. In the corporate world, they'll be like, okay, this person is here to learn. So I just ticked all the boxes of all the departments, right from like finance, HR, marketing, whatsoever was available. And then I tried every month, I used to try another department in that company. That's where I realized that marketing is something which I'm really good at, or that's what my mentors or my bosses told me, that this is what you really are good at. I attempted everything, but your feedback from the mentors you get at early stage and the people you work with are going to give you the true meaning of this is what your skill lies in and this is your hobby. So that's where I understood that I need to pivot into marketing. I did my MBA in that, and then I registered and I did everything. So that's how DP House of Media was established, and from there I started taking up social media management work. I started taking up a lot of other projects around it. It worked well for me until COVID hit. And while I'm answering to this question, why I took all these examples is internship taught me to experiment in life, and that helped me, that mindset helped me during COVID, because the first thing which COVID hit was the service industry, may it be hospitality, may it be agencies like us, marketing. That's where I learned, like internship, I can pivot to healthcare sector and take services where I help pharmacies promote their medicines on social media. That's where Essential Greens came into picture, because I saw everyone, like the tiny kids, everyone stuck in their four walls. What could give them joy and peace was just growing their own vegetables in their backyard or growing their own vegetables. That was an activity they would enjoy and learn, right? So that gave a lot of experimentation to me during COVID. Then the Unfiltered Conversations was born there, because like you and me, we were stuck. We didn't know what's going to happen. I thought it's end of the world. I don't know what is going to happen with me. I'm going to fail in life. My career is going to go to waste. I don't know what I'll do of my team. So I was like, if I am feeling this, and if with DP House of Media, I've worked with a lot of celebrities in the past, can I ask them about their struggles and how they rose to the top, and then get that inspiration going for all the youngsters around me? And that's how Unfiltered came in. And that's how Essential Greens came in, and that's how DP House of Media just pivoted to different verticals, and now we are a production house. So adapting to multiple things at a time and having that adaptive mindset of what you've started is not going to be the same in the current time is going to keep you relevant, and it's going to keep you wanting for more as an entrepreneur. So that's what I feel, and I don't think so it's a burden for you if you keep that mindset. So that's what multitasking different companies means to me.
Okay, I guess change is a very important
Yes.
part of all of our
Yes.
lives. So I have a very interesting question for you now. So imagine that you're with one entrepreneur. He could be anybody, somebody from the present, somebody from history. If you could have one dinner with them and you could only ask them one question, what would it be?
There was quite a struggle while thinking about the names for the entrepreneurs I absolutely admire, but the one thing I really like, it came to my mind, was Nikhil Kamath at the moment, because the way he has simplified entrepreneurship for everyone, and he's broken all the barriers of how it means and defines. I really want to know that how does he stay so curious while being the billionaire he is right now. I mean, like that curious, because I heard him saying in an Instagram live to I think a tech startup owner that I want to come and do internship at your startup.
Okay.
So that mindset is very interesting. So I want to know that from where does it come?
That curiousness and
Exactly.
the quality. Okay.
I guess that is very important for us as students as
Yes.
well, because we have a very big journey to go to. So, okay, so if you had to serve him one thing, what would you serve?
It would be the Maharashtrian thali, which I would serve him, cooked by my mother, because I think it's the most colorful and most healthy and most beautiful thing which we have. And I feel it would be an honor to serve him like a bhakri and thetsa and all these things which are very homely, right? So that's something I would give.
Yeah, that gave us Meza home visit.
Okay, so moving on. Now we'll be having some questions about this podcasting, Unfiltered Conversations
Yes.
with Devyani Pawar. So, first of all, the name itself is quite engaging and interesting. So, would you like to highlight anything about how did you come up with this name?
I wanted to be very real and very right there in terms of social media, because if you see, it's the most filtered platform right now. And I wanted to show my weaknesses, I wanted to show my imperfections, I wanted to show my insecurities to these celebrities and just frame questions that this is what I am feeling right now. I've also spoken with some celebrities that I feel that some people call me that you have a shelf life. So I wanted to ask them that how did they conquer that, right? So if you don't talk about your insecurities, how are people going to relate? Because I don't want to be somebody who just feels burdened of being super perfect. I'm not. I'm learning, and I will learn from today's podcast from you guys also. So that's what just felt like just giving that name, Unfiltered.
That's quite interesting and very insightful too. What made you decide to start your podcasting journey with Unfiltered Conversation? Like you told us about all the incidents that motivated you.
Correct.
But what was that one thought that was like it was on the back of your mind, but we always need that one kick that can bring this to life. So if you could remind anything about that.
When I started Unfiltered Conversations, I was at the rock bottom of my emotional and my, career wise. It was COVID, and there were a lot of things that happened which made me feel that I'm not good enough in that moment. And I was absolutely at rock bottom. That one thing that just sparked something inside me was that there's nothing to lose anymore. So let's just give it a try. There's nothing to lose. And that one thing just put me into this, a pedestal of just going ahead, and that moment just changed the entire trajectory of my career. And that moment made me who I am right now. So it was like nothing to lose right now. Like what, don't give a damn about anything right anymore. So that's that feeling and that rock bottomness that made me who I am. So this has been like a very deep and painful thing. Later on in life, I realized that pain cannot be the only motivation you should crave for, because I started craving for pain even more after the years, and then it's taken me a lot of time to get past that and to be in a good space where you have to motivate yourself with good things also and not wait for pain. So yeah, there is a good side and a bad side to the motivation that lies behind this.
Yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled to know about this bad side as well, because I haven't explored this yet.
So, you've done multiple podcasts with multiple people, but which is your favorite one?
My favorite podcast of all. It's quite hard to choose from, but I'd like to say my first podcast with Amruta Subhash, where it was the first one where I felt heard, I felt seen, and she made me so comfortable in making sure that I host that podcast pretty well. So she gave me those words of those beautiful feedback notes that, hey Devyani, you're doing great and you can refine and we can work and you can continue doing this. That honest feedback made me it assured that I can continue my journey. So that push was very important. So Amruta Subhash and Jackie Dada for his humbleness. I've always spoken about Jackie Dada, that guy, that man who's had so many accomplishments in life, can complete a shoot at 3 a.m. and come for my podcast to Panshet from Mumbai at 9:30, 10 a.m. is some sort of dedication when I am nothing. You just came because bacha, I want to just support you and want to be there for you and you're doing good work. So if you have that humbleness and that grounded nature, you can go very far. And these two people have reminded me back and again that you need to be humble while you are at the peak of your career.
I guess just finding those people in
Yes.
life just makes you feel so lucky
Correct.
that you
Yeah.
had somebody to share.
Yeah. So okay, let's skip to some fun part of the conversation. So it's gonna be a rapid fire game.
Amazing.
So the rules are pretty simple. I'll be asking you a question, and
Okay.
you have to answer with the first word that comes to your mind,
Okay.
without even thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
I hope this sounds cool, and are we good
It's not. It's scary, but
Okay. So are we good to go?
yes.
Okay. So first question: coffee or tea?
Coffee anytime.
Okay. Favorite superfood?
Favorite superfood? Smoothie bowls.
Smoothie bowls. Yummy. So one word to describe your leadership style.
Empathetic leadership. Thought leadership.
Okay, perfect. What does being unfiltered truly mean to you?
Being imperfect.
Being imperfect. Okay. How do you describe the vibe of this new series in 3 words?
The new series. Rooted in our culture and evolving with the changing times.
Okay. Dream travel destination.
My dream travel destination would be. I've not thought about it right now.
You have the time right now. Anything.
I want to explore the villages of our country.
Villages of a country.
Okay. I expected a Paris or a Maldives coming up.
Okay, so biggest pet peeve in business.
Sorry, what?
Biggest pet peeve in business.
What does that mean?
So one habit that your employees think is annoying, but you have to do it.
I am annoying. Like,
No, like you find it
about you guys.
like in general.
In business also.
Keeping up with the Gen Zs in office.
Okay.
Yeah.
The terms and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so go to song to pump you on.
Song to pump me on Linkin Park.
Linkin Park, okay. Best advice you have ever received.
Best advice I've ever. So never stop moving in your life, even if there are the biggest hurdles. It's right written here.
That was the first thing I
Yeah.
just read when I entered this office. Okay, so last one. Pune's best street food.
Pani Puri, of course, Kalyan Bhe.
Yeah, when we asked about superfood, you were ready with pani puri.
I think it won't be suitable. That's why it's changed. Pani Puri, I was like, wait a minute, it can't be superfood.
That's what unfiltered means.
So, now that you've been on social
Yeah.
media for a while, we'll talk about the social impact that you've
Sure.
had. So, how did you bring the global perspective you've gained from platforms like World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos into your work?
It has changed the way I look at social entrepreneurship, to be very honest, because that gave me, when I attended annual meeting this year, or I've been attending a lot of international conferences that World Economic Forum has hosted in the past. And what I saw, the perspectives I saw, was that everyone around in those conferences were talking about the larger themes that were going on. And I realized that these themes have an underlining solution that can be rooted back to our grassroots or our rural areas. And everyone, right from the UN, right from the World Economic Forum, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, or any of the big corporates, they want to know what is happening in our grassroots, right? So I felt like, if I am using this platform for amplifying the voices of the rural youth, it's an amazing platform to kind of interconnect the global pioneers with somebody who's rooted in the rural space, like our youth, and connect them together, because the technology, the skill sets, the kind of knowledge, the kind of evolving landscape of all the things that happen there, and the kind of talent or the kind of strength we have in our rurals, if they connect well together, there will be nothing like it. It will be a progressive world, right? So that taught me that how you cannot look at your villages in a way where, they need charity. You have to look at your villages or your people in the grassroots at they don't need charity, they just need a visibility, they just need a platform where their talent can be amplified. And that's what annual meeting or that's what these international platforms taught me, that we have so much talent that needs visibility. So that's how I used my marketing and media experience to create that interconnected world with these international forums and what we did at grassroots, right? So this is what it taught me, honestly.
As a student myself, I believe that if I had enough exposure,
Correct.
the situation would be different. Okay.
Just a question from my side as well. Social entrepreneurship. When we hear these words, then these both the words appear somewhat contrasting. Like entrepreneurship is always related to profits, making money, and everything, and social is like philanthropy, giving some resources, help. So, what does this mean to you? Like social entrepreneurship, what does this stands in your life?
Like I told you in the beginning of our interview, that when I started my entrepreneurial journey, it was always about making the table longer. And right now, when social media is at the top of its game, like you have to be present on social media, you have to be present at various platforms. For me, social entrepreneurship, when you combine social work with entrepreneurship, is going to be win-win situation for the kind of work you choose in your social areas. Like for me, I take upskilling, reskilling, making sure that in the grassroots there are the networks that they can get from. Let's say if there is a person, very talented person from the grassroots who knows how to use AI, who knows how to, the kind of, he's done invention. But if they don't get the platform where they can sit at, and if I have seen that, I don't want to be that entrepreneur who just runs for profits. Of course, it's a very good thing, but is it going to affect me if I help that person get the same platform? It's not. And that collaborative spirit is something which each and every one of us should learn. And that's what social entrepreneurship honestly means to me, that if you have the privilege and the platform, like you are using your platform to amplify the voices of entrepreneurs, can you go to the grassroots or anywhere in your society, you see a small child inventing or doing something, or he's good at something, can be anything, good at cooking. Would you say, no, this guy is going to affect my career path? And we never do that. And that what I feel is social entrepreneurship, and it should be rooted in each and every person, right? It should be rooted, because that's how it's going to be a win-win situation. The traditional entrepreneurship or the business, what our previous generations knew, was to survive the competition. But right now, because I amplify, like we are in a digital world, it's all about collaborative and adaptive spirit and rooting for each other, and that's what social entrepreneurship truly means to me.
This is something I haven't heard, and I don't see people talking about this. And I'm really looking forward to this and applying this to in my life as well. I think we have come to the end of our interview. Just one question, like, what is that one advice that you would like to give to any budding entrepreneur sitting right there and watching this?
I would like to give one advice to all the young minds. May it be that you are doing a job, you are pursuing a career in entrepreneurship, or you are doing anything else. The one thing which is going to keep you afloat in today's day and age is increasing your luck surface area on social media and treating social media as your portfolio and as your CV, and amplifying and putting out your work there, because you never know when a Nikhil Kamath would go through your post, right? So never look at social media as just something to share your personal things, but also making sure that you utilize social media to amplify your work. The second thing is, when the AI is coming right now, I feel that even if our educational system might not have still adapted to it, or they are adapting to it, for you shouldn't be dependent on those systems, but start reinventing yourself in these changing times, because that's what I learned early in my stage, that if you don't adapt to the changing times, and if you don't take AI to your utilization or to your advantage, you will feel the burden of staying stuck at one position. So just try to be a learner at heart and try to be curious. at whatever you do.
Thank you so much, Devyani, for
Thank you.
actually joining us today. It was wonderful interacting with you, learning with experiences. And honestly, for people like Tanmay who don't even bother to, use social media, this has been a lesson. So to everybody who's watched us today, thank you so much for joining. We'll be back with another episode very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for both of your time, and it was amazing interacting with both of you. Thank you.